Morning, everybody. It's May 28th, 2023 at, let's see, like 8:13 a.m. Anyway, I'd like to share with you what took place this morning. I got up at basically sunrise every morning like I do, wake up with the sun. That's a pretty pleasant thing to do. I wake up by hearing birds starting to chirp and, a couple squirrels trying to get frisky. It's not a bad thing. Anyway, so I left to go to the truck stop to have some breakfast. And as I'm sorry, I have some lemon drops in my mouth. Anyway, so as I'm driving through the parking lot at the truck stop, I see two truck drivers stinking going at it. I mean, they're brawling. And instantly, without even thinking, I pulled right up there, jumped out of the vehicle, and the first thing I did is I just yelled, "Hey!" And both of them instantly stopped because I broke their train of thought. And the first thing I said was, "Who started this?" And the one guy's pointing at the other guy, and that guy's not doing anything. So I looked at the guy that was all proud that, he wasn't the one who started it. And I said to him, so let's think of it this way. If somebody is upset, we know that they're emotionally unstable. We also know that it's not right to argue or fight with somebody who is emotionally unstable. Otherwise, it shows we're more emotionally unstable than they are, because no good comes from that. So I looked at the guy that was all proud, who thought that he had done nothing wrong. And I said, so technically you're more unstable, because why didn't you just walk away from him? Why didn't you just look at him and say something kind like, "Hey brother, I don't want to fight. I love you, man. I know you're upset. I don't want to add to it." And if you're vindictive, you'll still enjoy the results. Because if someone is angry and you show them love, that weirds them out. A lot of times it makes them a little more irritated. But the positive aspect is, if you refuse to fight back with negativity like they want and only give them positive, it might be a couple days down the road, it's going to eat at them. It's going to drive them nuts, the fact that they could not upset you. And ultimately, you're going to help change them. So, positive. Keep that in mind. Also, when I woke up, I was thinking about the interaction I had with the police yesterday, with the police officer that's also been a chaplain for like 24 years. Once I told him my story, that, hey, basically nobody in the state of Oregon will do absolutely anything to help defend me, especially not my family. They're not even communicating with me. Anybody of authority that can protect me is hiding behind their fear, because they know they have violated all my civil rights. And he couldn't agree more. He's like, "Oh, when I told him I had to sell my paid off home in a rush and I had to give all my stuff away just so I could stay alive and keep my neighbors safe," he apologized. And I told him, I said, "Man, I can tell you have a great heart." And this was before I knew he was a pastor. But now, even though here we have a man that's dedicated his life to, let's say, serving the Lord, who's also dedicated his life to serving and protecting the innocent. Huge kudos to both aspects. But even you, my friend, you've got to wake up, because here you have a man that stood in front of you telling you, all I want to do is give unconditional and deserving love to everybody because I have it for myself. You knew that I'm strictly trying to get solar panels on my trailer so that I can take it to Skid Row to give them energy. You also knew that, my $30,000 worth of tools and equipment that I have just so that I can do this. You also knew that I'm going to have to give it away. And remember, when I said that I'm going to have to give it away, with your kind heart, you were thinking, and you said, well, why do you have to do that? Sell it on Craigslist. And I explained to you, when I have to sell something, that means I have more exposure to people, more chance that my life will be taken. Also, when you sell something, you see the worst of everybody. And I said, in my time in Ukraine and how my family recently reacted in the Krvavs Police Department, pretty much every state professional, I've seen enough ugliness to last me for eternity, when all I'm simply trying to do is give unconditional and deserving love. And as he was leaving, I told him, I said, hey, uniform aside, I'm so happy I got the opportunity to meet you. And he looked at me and he said, you know what? He said, I'm very glad I had the opportunity to meet you as well. And we shook hands. And he left. But now let's step back and look at the big picture. We have probably one of the most honorable men you're going to meet in the local community. He's dedicated his life to serving the Lord and helping people get closer to their God. He's also, dedicated his life to his oath, to serve and protect. But yet, I guarantee you, I was the one person in the world that is the kindest he would ever meet. Also, the one person in the world that needed his help the most. And it didn't register. I bet he said, well, can't you? He said, why don't you just go park somewhere else and get this work done? And I asked him, I said, where can I go? Do you know of any place? I said, I can afford, I'll rent any place. Just give me a place where nobody will bother me so I can finish working on the trailer and get down the road. He's like, yeah, no, I don't know of any place. But yet he's a pastor of a church for 24 years. I remember the day that when somebody in need, a loving, caring person in need, came into a community and was getting beat up by the community when all they were trying to do was give love. I remember the day that church would step up and take him in under their wing. You can't tell me that there's not a parking lot slot at that church that couldn't handle me being parked, taking up, 10 by 30 feet at the most. Even if people in the church had issue with it, that would be such a phenomenal learning opportunity for the parish to remember how to love. That's what it all boils down to, is we got to remember how to love. And there's only one love. It's unconditional and deserving, expecting absolutely nothing back in return. And you guys know as well as I do, I have received absolutely none of that, even though virtually my entire existence, I've done it nonstop for other people. What's wrong with this picture? You guys sit back and hide behind your fear and judge me and think that I'm the one wrong. Why can't you guys see that because you guys obsess on the negative, that in all actuality you guys are the ones that are mentally ill? We all know that those who only see the negative and refuse to find the positive are mentally ill. I refuse to accept the negative. I only accept the positive. But yet you call me mentally ill. I mean, serious, you guys, reality check. And by the way, I've noticed that my viewers, I think it's like 83%, are males between the ages of 35 and 44. So what does that tell me? Majority of my viewers are law enforcement. You guys are just waiting for me to screw up. That way you can swoop in and prove that I'm mentally ill or I've done something illegal. Now, every single one of you that are watching, not commenting, not liking or disliking, how do you sleep at night? I mean, look at my living conditions. Look at everything I've sacrificed. And I refuse to get angry or do anything negative because of it. All I want to do is give more love. How in the world can you guys possibly sit back at night, drink your Coors Light or whatever it may be in your lazy boy recliner? When you lay down to go to sleep at night, are you so detached from your heart that you do not feel any pain or guilt in your heart for the fact that you all have turned your back on me? Are you justifying it to yourself, trying to say that it didn't happen? Wake up. Look at the videos. I have rock solid proof that it happened. How was I able to always have rock solid proof? Because you guys are so asleep, you're incredibly predictable. You guys live and thrive on the lies. Watch TV. How much lies do you hear? Well, I guarantee you, majority of it. The only time you're not hearing a lie is when someone's saying something positive or talking love. Lie to yourself all you want, but that's pure, raw, honest truth. The only truth in this world is love. So why don't y'all wake up and quit lying? Have some accountability. Speaking of accountability, the RV park has on the shower door. And granted, keep in mind, I'm paying close to $1 per square foot per week. And they do have showers on site. And you know what? This is a nice facility. I'm going to give them that. It's clean. It's well taken care of. Nice facility. The tenants are friendly. The management is not so friendly. The owner's not horribly unfriendly. Very aggressive. Very confrontational. But you go to the shower, and the shower door has on it, please limit your shower to 15 minutes. Hey, that's honorable. I can respect that. Why does anybody need to take more than 15-minute shower? Shit. Marine Corps, it was limited to 2 minutes. And you had to shut the water off in between soaping up. Okay, fair enough. But then the part that bothered me is it said, our showers are free, but excess condensation is damaging the walls, and if it continues, we will no longer be able to offer free showers. I get that. You guys are probably thinking, yeah, what's wrong with that? Okay, stop lying. The truth, the positive way of saying this would be, excess condensation is beginning to damage our walls. Therefore, we will have to spend thousands of dollars to put a better ventilation system in to prevent it from happening. In return, have to increase our prices. Your showers aren't free, dude. Plain and simple. You have a good Samsung. I mean, your showers aren't free. Your showers are included in the cost of the dollar per square foot for a week. We lie so much, we don't even realize how much we're lying. For example, let's take imitation crab. Why don't we just call it crab substitute and call it flavorless white fish? Wouldn't that be honest? Wouldn't that give the person that you're dealing with respect instead of trying to imply you feel they're gullible or they lack common sense? Just like the 99 cents, like $2.99. Okay, I understand the marketing behind it. Maybe if we're a bunch of peasants, maybe if we're uneducated, Quit lying to us. En route, you are lying to. Just call it $3. Nobody wants the frickin' penny back. It's ridiculous. You're playing games. Just be straight up and honest. And all you chip manufacturers, stop putting air in the bag. Stop taking up the room on the trucks. Stop doing all of these lies, trying to trick people into thinking that they're getting the same amount for their money, when in all actuality, you're decreasing the volume of the chips in the bag and you're increasing the price. You guys are freaking liars. Quit lying. You know, if you got to raise your costs because you're not making any money, then do it. But don't lie. Don't play these BS marketing games where you put air in the bag to make people think that they're getting the same amount. Look at the cost of cereal. If you're like me, you might get 2 bowls of cereal out of a box. But I am doing well. You know, yesterday my brain was, pretty active, figuring out how to find all the positivity out of the fact that the police had gotten called on me when I'm literally doing absolutely nothing wrong, trying to not offend anybody, because I know my life depends on it. And the positive I took away from it, because ultimately he said the fact that I had music going, even though it was during the normal hours and not during quiet time, and it was way down low and it was spiritual music, it offended him. And I got wireless headset, so I put that in. That way I'm not offending anybody. Problem solved. Easy peasy. Now, if he would have just said, hey, can you turn your music down or not play it until 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever. If he would have taken it that route, I guarantee you we would have had a great interaction. But when you walk up to somebody that's very obvious, reputable, I mean, all my shit's brand new. This does not look tweaker, ghetto-y whatsoever. This looks very professional and intimidating. Have enough common sense before you walk up and approach somebody like me to not start off by insulting me. Because I will get you to recognize the negative, just like I did, just like I'm doing right now. I don't have any hard feelings towards you. For some reason, he has super white hair. And it makes me think of, the movies, how they represent elves. They all have really bright white hair. And for some reason yesterday, I just kept having this feeling in my heart that his ancestors do not approve at all of how he treated me. The cop didn't approve of it. And ultimately, he told everyone else that he plans on apologizing to me yesterday. He never showed up. He never apologized, nothing. It feels as if, again, it's just more lies to make him feel better. I don't hold any resentment towards him. I really hope that he comes to his consciousness before I leave here and we can shake and maybe even give a hug. But on the positive note, he did at least come to some consciousness and realize that, hey, I'm not a bad person. I'm not trying to upset anybody. So I have been given the right now to go hide in a boat tent to do the welding that I need to do to get the solar panels on the trailer. So that's positive. You know what? You guys might think, why do you have to go hide to go do something like that? Truth is, I'm not going to be in the shade. I'm not going to have wind blowing everything around. Nobody's going to mess with me. Nobody's even going to see what I'm doing. No kids are going to catch the bright light from the welder and hurt their eyes. Everything's positive, and If that police officer that I interacted with yesterday, if by chance you did listen and checked out my documentary and are watching this, I love you, brother. Please understand I pointed this out not because I want to make you feel guilty. I pointed this out to make you closer with your God, to remember that the two positions you hold give you the opportunity to come into contact with people that need love the most. Don't ever forget that. And don't ever let your badge prevent you from being the God serving man that you are to your core. Because yesterday, it prevented you from doing the right thing, and you know it did. Did you, when you got back to the office, did you pick up the phone and call anywhere to see if there was someone that would not harass me and just let me do the very honorable thing that I'm trying to do? Especially when you know that I just got back from Ukraine not too long ago, willing to die for the innocent. I view when you're wearing that bulletproof vest, I view you as also being willing to die for the innocent. But yet yesterday, you stood in front of the most innocent person you've come across and the most loving person you've come across in probably your entire career. And you forgot about all the good stuff. I love you, brother. That's just a reminder, please, for your parish, for your soul. Get it back, man. You guys have a great day. I'll probably run my mouth again this evening. And if you guys feel that my videos aren't organized or they hop all over the place, for example, I started taking a look at the mental health system, and you better believe I'm going to get back into it. This is my rough draft, people. I am collecting the data. I'm collecting the video footage to where once I get a bunch of it, I'm going to edit it, I'm going to organize it, I'm going to get exactly to where it needs to be. That's why it hasn't gone viral. But you guys are so concerned about your fear that you're not seeing what's happening literally right in front of your face. And you're not realizing that you're watching the most caring, loving person you've ever met in your entire existence. I guarantee you. How many people have you ever met in your life that would give their heart, give their life, just so that you don't have to feel the pain that I felt? You know it. If you are incredibly lucky if you can name one that in a heartbeat would sacrifice themselves for you out of love. I mean, literally give up their life. Pretty good chance when push comes to shove, you might be wrong about that person, but it's good at least you have the belief that you do have that person. And I swear on my entire existence to my God and your God that if somebody needs me, I don't care if I have to sacrifice my life, I will. You know why? Because nobody's taking me out of my consciousness between me and my God. Because I have been given the rare opportunity to talk to your brain exactly how your brain needs to hear it in order to understand. And I got that ability from your God. It's really simple, you guys. Enjoy this, I believe it's called Sabbath. Enjoy the names, when you go to church. Just try to remember what I said. See if it coincides to the truth within your religion. I don't know your religion. I don't even know your Bible. But I think if you listen strictly for the positive, you just might get a little dookie in your shorts, because you're going to realize I've been speaking the truth all along. And your fear and your guilt is the only thing keeping you out of being one with your God like I am. Happy Sunday.